Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin bubble news channel. That's right, Bitcoin is probably having a hard time because of MT, Gox, starting to give out money in July. That was a huge wait for a long time. But if I were buying in crypto and knew that one of the biggest problems would go away in July, I think that's a reason to think that the market will rise pretty quickly in the second half. Tom Lee, head of research at Fundstrat Global, says that Bitcoin will have a pretty sharp comeback in the second half of the year. As we all know, the failed Bitcoin exchange MT, Gox is planning to sell $9 billion worth of coins starting in July. In 2014, it happened. Someone broke into the trade. There were more than 20,000 debtors. 10 years have passed since the long court case began, and this was going on back here while this was being said. So the market set the price for it. The ETFs have still been used by businesses to buy. Now you need to see news about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. Watch the whole movie today to find out what Tom Lee thinks the next price targets for Bitcoin will be by the end of the year. Today is July 1st. You now have a new goal for the end of the year. And let's begin with the old-fashioned markets. Tom Lee thinks that the S&P 500 will keep going up. I think people who still have cash on hand will have to pay for it by the end of this year. They may have made even more than you thought from the SP. Yes, I agree that earnings in 2025 look a lot better now that the year is halfway over than we thought at the beginning. We thought it might be 260. It's probably more like 275, 280, or even 285. And I believe the number we first thought of could be 20 times that for next year. But because the Fed has more reasons to be dovish, and I think the job market might be getting better, P multiples might be higher next year, I think stocks will go up until the end of the year. We had a good first half, and the second half won't be as good, but we should build on that. That being said, it does look pretty good. The S&P 500 is around 5,400 right now, and we still have 6 months to go. Where will it be then? A little more than 20%. That is, after last year's 24. I don't think anyone really expected those 2 years. That's right. I mean, that's painful for people who have had $6 trillion in cash earning 5% for 2 years because they missed out on a 50% gain. That's 10 years of reality for those who said, oh, I'm happy with my $6 trillion in cash earning 5%. When the economy can still grow for a while longer unless it starts to shrink. Now, what does Tom Lee's new Bitcoin prediction mean for the rest of 2024? You already know that I'm not sure about crypto. First, though, you should know that space is changing all over the world. Sony is going to start a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market for $103 billion. Adoption by a lot of people. Today is the day. With the Amber platform it bought, Sony is getting ready to open a cryptocurrency market in Japan. In fact, they are fixing up an old exchange that they now own. Sony, a Japanese company with businesses in many fields, is getting ready to open a cryptocurrency exchange by making changes to Whalefin, a local trading site that it bought last year. Whalefin is now called Us.Blocksco, and it wants to work with other companies in Sony's group to make its crypto trade services more valuable. But if you have money in Bitcoin, this is huge. You may also remember that the company that makes PlayStation also filed a patent last year for super fungible tokens, which are NFTs that can be used in games in a more flexible way. Thus, Bitcoin is not getting smaller. Bitcoin use is growing around the world, and news about Ethereum. Vitalik Buterin wants Ethereum trades to be faster and have a single slot for closure. So the Ethereum main chain might be able to compete with Solana if it works faster and costs less. Vitalik Buterin, one of the co-founders of Ethereum, wants to speed up deals on the network by using tools that could cut L1 confirmations from a few seconds to milliseconds. This idea was just put forward. It hasn't been passed yet, but Vitalik said that he wanted to switch Ethereum from its current epoch and slot system to a single slot end system. If that all sounds too hard to understand, just know that I get it. Buterin says that the Ethereum merge in 2022 has cut the time it takes to confirm an L1 transaction down to just 5 to 20 seconds. When you pay with a credit card, that's about the same experience. That's right, they're no longer trying to compete with credit cards. They want to be as good as blockchains like Solana. In a straight quote, it is worth it to make the user experience even better. There are also apps that need latencies of just a few hundred milliseconds or less. These changes to Polkadot are good if you own Ethereum. This is the news we told you about before. Every day, .ETF gets closer. Polkadots are going to happen. People think it might be a Polkadot ETF because Coinbase put in an application to have Polkadot futures. This is how the Polkadot futures contract will work. It will be paid in cash every month and have margin. They have sent an application straight to the CFTC. This is not an ETF by itself, and it is not Polkadot settled either. It's only paid in cash. Before the Bitcoin ETF, we saw these steps. A lot of people who follow Barstool founder Dave Portnoy keep hearing him talk about Bitcoin. If you get scammed in crypto like I did with Safon, don't come to me and cry. In this question, he was talking about YouTuber Steve Will Do It, who had just released his own joke coin. I learned that Twitter and the crypto community as a whole need a star. I believe that something like this will go to zero. This kind of thing seems like a way to get money to me. I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to save the crypto world X. Money is more important than a legacy, or Jesus Christ is more important than a legacy. Fair enough, I'd love to talk to Steve, and I'd invite him to talk if he really thinks this. What will Steve do? The crypto hero is back with another rug. I didn't know he had that. The only kind of crypto that anyone should use is Bitcoin. That was a hard lesson for me. I don't care if you lose money quickly with crypto like I did with Safon. Just don't tell me you're upset. You should be aware that you're likely to be pulled under when you go in. Only Bitcoin is a Ponzi scam. In any case, it's cool that Bitcoin is getting attention from the media. Good news for Bonsai, a website that lets you make your own AIRWA tokens without writing any code. It's like WordPress for Web3. This major change is the news today. A new and better Bonsai 3 symbol is coming out. The name of our seed coin is changing to BAY, a brand new multi-chain token driven by Layer 0 Labs that has a new ticker name and better uses. Our new BAY token will be the most useful token in our community. Don't worry, there will be a 1-to-1 token swap seed for BAY. For all layers, the highest supply will always be the same 1 billion tokens. There will be no inflation. So more usefulness, ease of use, and an improvement for the Bonsai 3 platform. Finally, what is Tom Lee's new Bitcoin goal now that fund strats are getting ready for that sharp rise for the rest of 2024? You know that my worry about crypto showed up again in the form of my clay feet. Because I said so, Tom Lee will be right about the 5,500 miles. Then why does he still say $150 for Bitcoin? Why would you do that? Why not just pay attention to stock? It was going below 60,000, so don't stick your neck out. It's back to almost 63,000 now. That $6 trillion we just talked about kind of fits with your Bitcoin theory. That's right. Bitcoin is probably having a hard time since MT. Gox began giving out Bitcoin in July. That was a huge wait for a long time. But if I were buying in crypto and knew that one of the biggest problems would go away in July, I think that's a reason to think that the market will rise pretty quickly in the second half. I still think 150 is possible. It's July 1st already. That's still on the table, right? That could still happen. That's right. Also, remember that Bitcoin gets the most during 10 days each year. There are times when Bitcoin loses money, like on the 10 best days of a year. Also, if you want to hang out, I'll see you tomorrow.